Some people really view Photoshop as such a dirty word in photography, and they shouldn't. I think those people that say that really don't know what the masters of the darkroom were capable of. And if you have an issue with Photoshop, I suggest looking up what those darkroom masters can do and do a little bit of research on your history first. I'm saying that I definitely see the issue people have with Photoshop affecting the honesty and the historical accuracy of photography. And so it's definitely got its place. I love photographic sections in competitions that do not allow compositing or any like certain level of heavy Photoshop. I love an honest image as much as anybody. Maybe more. Because I'm definitely not the biggest fan of Photoshop. I love photo manipulation, as in tweaking colors and trying to get the most information and detail and color out of an image as possible, but doing composite work for me definitely has its place. I'm a little bit bipolar. Sometimes I'll love it and I'll do heaps, and sometimes I just can't stand it and I only want an original looking image. But if you want to get into like heavy Photoshop and composite work, there are a couple of things to be aware of when you're out taking photos for this kind of content. Things are far, far easier if you use a similar lens and under similar light. Trying to match, say, a brightly lit person to make them look like they're in a cloudy day can be quite tricky. Very, very tricky. And same goes for the opposite. Also with lenses, like if you're shooting your landscape with a real wide angle lens, but then you've got someone in it that was shot with like say a 200mm, they don't fit together too well. You're definitely much better off being aware of that as you're shooting content. Say just shoot everything, say, at 35mm. As an example, that's what I love to do. Also, as another good tip, if you like, for starting out, just do everything in black and white. Blending color is like another layer to it, and it's initially easier if you just don't have to worry about it. But speaking of combining different layers and photos together, there are 3 things you should Google and do far more research about than I can tell you in this video. Those 3 things are the clone stamp tool, masking, and blending modes. Those 3 tools alone unlock a huge pool of creativity and power in Photoshop, and it's just 3 things to learn about. To really summarize them up, clone stamp will let you take some information from one part of a photo and copy it. It's kind of like a copy and paste, but it's a great way for, say if you had a photo of me just here and you want to remove me from this photo, you could clone stamp the black background and cover all of me up so I wasn't here. Blending modes, once you get your head around them, are kind of like the cheat sheet. They are far, far easier and incredibly powerful, but under select certain conditions. So as a great way to start, say shoot some stars or shoot anything in your house against a black background. Just try not to make sure that object you're shooting is black itself, or against a white background. Put it on top of any other photo and then change its blending mode to something else. And at one point you will see its black or its white background just completely different disappear. Blending modes are incredible and I use them constantly. Another really powerful thing about blending modes is if you want to just paint in some light. So if you have your photo and you want to make it look like it's a little bit warmer, or you want to make it look like that green is a little bit stronger, you can literally just get a paintbrush, you make it a little bit soft and a little bit transparent, and you can just paint it on and you change its blending mode, say, to soft light, and you will get a glow of that color. You got to tweak it and be subtle with it on your photo. Blending mode's incredibly powerful. And finally, on to my favorite tool, masking. Masking seems to scare some people off, but I cannot encourage you enough to just spend a couple of hours and learn what masking does. In a nutshell, it is a way of like removing parts of a photo, but it is not permanent. You can easily go back in and add that part of the photo later on. Where if you use, say, an eraser tool, once you've, say, removed someone's arm and you get to 2 hours of editing later on, you realize you've made that mistake, it's a lot trickier to bring it back. With masking, you could just paint that arm back in and you would be carrying on as usual. It can save so much time. So my day was actually a tricky one. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I've done some heavy composite work before, and I thought I'd just go for a walk around the farm and shoot a lot of different elements, and then I'll combine them all together into some composite piece of art, and it didn't work. Like it just wasn't for me. So instead, I moved on to a different idea where I had a light bulb, and I took a photo of my hand, I took a photo of the light bulb, I took a photo of the light bulb in the light socket, so it had lots of light coming out, and I want to look like it was floating above my hand while lit. And that didn't excite me either. So I decided to dig up one of my older images, the panoramic mushrooms from episode number 1, I think it was. And I thought I'd make it look like they were glowing, and I'd add some fireflies to them, and I'd make it look like it was nighttime. And that actually worked out pretty well, and that was fun, but it wasn't really enough excitement for one subject. So I decided to give the classic levitating shot a go. for those that haven't done that before, it's actually a great one to learn to starting out. Essentially what you do is you take a photo of a big open area, then you put a stool in that scene, then you sit on that stool or you lie on that stool, and then you take some more photos, and then you step out and you grab another shot of the empty scene later on, and then you practice your masking to remove just the stool so it looks like you are floating. As always guys, thank you for following along. If you have any questions about anything I've mentioned in this video, feel free to ask down in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them for you or send you in the right direction. If you'd like to join on this challenge or any other challenge, feel free to hashtag TBPhotoChallenge on Instagram. I'd love seeing all your work. If you could flick me a like, a share and subscribe, it would mean the world to me and help me get one step closer to doing this full time for a living. Plus, if you'd like to tune in tomorrow, you are more than welcome to watch me, these are getting lower, try and take some photos of videography.